Hello everyone, thanks for joining us and welcome to episode 6 of our FPL Cougars show. Game week 4 has just passed and it was another eventful one with some injuries to some heavily owned players and a couple of surprise results. Tonight Kieran and I are going to be taking a look at our teams to see where we are heading into international break. We'll do our usual game by game review and then we'll discuss some of the main talking points from the week. Those were sort of the injuries to Walcott, Zaha, potential replacements. Should we now be looking at Mane instead of Salah? He's the top midfield scoring player in the game. And what do we think of Palace? They've got some great fixtures. They're quite heavily owned, but Zaha's out. And where do we go with them? So we'll also be covering all that and we'll be answering some community questions. I think we're going to start by doing a little team review. So Kieran, how are you and how was your weekend?
Yeah, good, thank you. Bit of an average weekend for me FPL-wise, but... Football-wise, there were some good games, so yeah, it was a good weekend altogether. Team-wise for FPL, not great. My biggest decision was benching Fraser or Wan-Bissaka. Obviously chose the wrong one in the end. I went a little bit greedy. Tried to go for the double Palace defense. I was a bit apprehensive with no Tompkins and things, but I wanted to go greedy. And obviously didn't pay off. Fraser didn't really do much either, but he got more points than Wan-Bissaka did. So, what can I do? Transfer that I made was Richardson for Walcott. And, obviously Walcott didn't do much either, but we'll discuss that later. But, frustrating week, above the average, but a small green arrow, I believe it was, maybe like 100 places. So it's like not much at all. So that's the first green of the season though, which is slight progress.
That's good. You ended on a green arrow.
Yeah.
That's good. Mine was fairly similar. Like Zaha got automatically subbed out because I had him, and my decision, which I was talking about last week, was basically who to play first sub. I figured that Arnautovic was a doubt going into the weekend with lots of contrasting reports about whether he was going to be fit or not. I thought so having it in my bench aligned was probably going to be quite important. So it was either Jota or Wan-Bissaka. Didn't fancy the Palace double, so but Jota first sub. He came in, but generally quite a poor week really. Got the Aguero captaincy right. He was my second highest scoring player, so that worked out all right. And Fabianski had that clean sheet wiped out, so that hit the average is okay, but I dropped quite a lot actually compared to you.
Okay. You dropped, did you?
Yeah, I think I must have dropped about 60 or 70,000 places, but it's so tight. So that's left me about 300. I think it's 387,000. So
yeah, I'm wondering if the casual teams that don't pick up on Twitter and all that sort of stuff is just they seem to be getting the average as well. They're getting sort of the same points as I am, so I seem to be going nowhere.
Yeah.
The
longer the season goes on, and the more you actually have to react to things that are happening in the league, and I think that's when people start climbing. But the premium defence for us came through, didn't it? But
it did. Yep. The three essentials, I suppose. Just shame the supporting acts couldn't live up to it. Exactly. Yeah. Billing staring at me down there at 9 points as well. Frustrating, but I he's there just to play. I'll never have him actually on the field really, so that was just inevitable. Gonna happen at some point.
So should we start by talk about the first game of the week, the Saturday lunchtime kickoff, Leicester against Liverpool? You had quite a few players featuring because obviously you had Maddison, Salah and Robertson there. What did you make of the game and fantasy assets?
Overall it was a good game, exciting game. Both teams attacked, which was nice to see. It wasn't like a stalemate either way. Maddison looked really good, passed the eye test again. Glad I've got him in because people are, again, I said last week people are kind of overlooking him. But I think now they've seen him again against Arsenal. He was on TV, against Liverpool, on TV. Looks really good. People are going to start transferring in. So hopefully I can get a rise. But yeah, lucky to get the assist for sure. He just touched it.
Yeah.
But he was unlucky to not get the ball to him to be able to tap it in for him to get the goal. So, another one to look at in that game is Gazal as well. I think him, Maddison, and Vardy as the front three. It's going to be pretty good, to be honest. Gazal looks like he's a handful at 5'3". pretty low owned. He should be starting the games because he looks like a Mahrez doppelganger. Yeah, one to look at for sure.
He's been brought in to fill that void, hasn't he? A little bit from Mahrez.
Absolutely.
Had some creativity from that side.
Yeah. But yeah, Robertson looks good again. Good assist. Shame we couldn't keep that clean sheet, but obviously take the Maddison points. Probably would have been on for 3 bonus if he kept the clean sheet as well. But yeah, can't win it all. Still assists, good returns from conceding, so it's all good. You obviously had him as well, which is nice.
Yeah, I'm still surprised that he's only 6-1. Like, we've had 4 game weeks now. He's returned attacking points or defensive points in all the games this season. Yep. And the fact that he's only gone up 0.1 compared to Alonso going up and Alonso going up and Mendy. It's a little bit of a surprise, really. I had a look at his heat map from the game, and he's basically, or for the Leicester game, he's basically just playing on the halfway line or a little bit inside the opponent's box as average position, so he's high up, and it's paying off. He's getting these assists, and I think he played really well. I think he had one key pass in the game, and that was the one which led to Mane's goal. Yeah, I think he's no reason for me to get rid of him. I can deal with Champions League rotation because he's so heavily owned. I don't think I'd ever need to get rid of him.
I can't see he's going to get rotated in the Premier League, really. He's young, he's fit. He's just been named the Scotland captain as well, which is really good for him. Didn't really see that coming, but yeah, he's looked great. I can't see him being benched. Moreno is pretty terrible. So
yeah.
The Premier League fixtures are quite hard as well. So he's not going to want. Klopp's not going to want to drop points. So he's going to play his best team. Yeah, Salah generally bit poor, wasn't he? Really, didn't really do too much.
Yeah, it's rare. I mean, after last week, bigging him up and saying he had a great start to the season, been consistent. I suppose he's allowed one off game, but it was off by his standards. He had that great, a really good chance, didn't he? Quite early on,
he did. Yeah.
Just wide.
Sitter, really.
And he had one shot on target, one off. So it was a quiet game for him, really. What do you think of Mane in comparison? Because we've had a couple of questions come in. People wanted us to talk about whether over the next maybe 3 or 4 games, Liverpool have got some trickier teams in. And is Mane a better option than Salah? Do you want to upgrade elsewhere? But I don't know, to me, it seems like Salah's still the main man. What do you think about that?
No, I'd agree. I don't think Mane has really been that involved in the games. I think he's been lucky to get most of his points, to be honest.
Yeah.
He's had clinical finishes and stuff, but he's just seemed to be right in the right place, which is great.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the rest of the game, he's not done a lot. But yeah, I guess for FPL wise, that's fine if he's getting in the right place, getting some points. That's good. But I still think Salah is the main man, as you said. Yeah, just getting taken off at 70 minutes is a bit. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but
it would have disappointed a lot of people who are captaining him to get taken off 70. It's not like they've got a midweek game to prepare for. It's international break now, so that was a bit of a strange one. I've got some interesting stats to look at ahead of Mane. Obviously, Mane's going up quite a lot in price now. I think he's probably going to be 10.
Yes.
Is he 10 already? Is he today?
No, not by tomorrow. I think so.
Yeah. So I think that's forcing some people's hands because they're thinking, okay, if he's so heavily owned and his price is going up, I've got to get him in. So it's just sort of snowballing. Some people are getting him because he's going up, and I think when I did took a bit of a look at the underlying stats just to see how they really compared. And Mane, averaging this season, he's had 2.5 shots every game, but Salah's doubled that almost. He's having 4.8 shots. They're both similar, having 2.5 average shots in the box every game. But the fact that Salah's double, I mean, he didn't against Leicester, but I mean, generally, to double the amount of shots Mane had, I just don't see why you take the risk. I mean, Salah's still more heavily owned than Mane is. I think it would be a bit crazy to get rid of him at this stage.
But he is like 3 million more expensive.
Yeah. You do use that 3 million elsewhere. I wouldn't, just for the security of yes, we know Salah can get huge hauls, like he did last season quite a few times. So
I mean, I think it's viable to go without him at the moment, just because of their fixtures, and maybe he will get rotated. But he's proved before he can still score when being rotated. But I think it's viable to go without him if you want to do that. But at the same time, it's just risky not to. Either way, if you want to go that way, I think it's still good. You'll still get good returns from Mane, and you've probably got Firmino as well if you're doing that. So yeah, go for it if you want to. But braver than me.
Would you ever think about doubling up on them?
What, Salah and Mane?
Yeah, I know they've got tough fixtures, but I mean they are both getting returns.
Yes, but not in the upcoming fixtures.
Okay.
I think Mane's minutes might get lessened rather than Salah's, possibly, because Mane has cover. Shaqiri can easily go there. Lallana can easily go there. Whereas Salah doesn't really have a straight replacement, I don't think, on that side. So yeah, but I would double up on them, but not for now, not in their next September month, because that looks scary, difficult.
They got some difficult. But the thing is, I think Liverpool is so potent going forward in the way Klopp gets them to play. I think they'll definitely score goals over that period, but perhaps you're right, perhaps not enough to warrant the investment. I
mean, they've got fixtures against the hard teams.
Yeah.
And Salah scored against all of them last time. Mane didn't get that many points. Salah's proven against, Spurs. He got that really crazy just walk through goal last year, which was crazy good. He's proven, and it's not like it was a flash in the pan because he was scoring loads of goals in Serie A as well.
Yeah.
He'll probably get 30 again this season, I'd say. Well, 30 overall, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe 30 straight in the league, but
I think it makes sense. Well, for me personally, I'm going to hold on to Salah. I am thinking about doubling with Mane just because I think they've got pedigree to go out and beat any team.
Mm-hmm.
And he's consistent at the moment, which is what you want from a FPL player. He's not got the amazing shots per game average that Salah's got, but he's being more clinical. And if he can continue his form like he has been playing, perhaps he'll continue to have a good season. I mean, he started quite well at the start of last season. He was sort of, went a bit off form. I think he had a bit of an injury and came back. He wasn't saying Salah was really the main man then. So if he can recapture some of the form he showed at the very start of last season, and obviously continue his form from this season, then I could see myself doubling.
Yeah, he did me well at the end of last season. I had him and Salah, and he was getting consistent returns at the end of the season, which was nice. But if I was to get him now, I'd have to get rid of Aubameyang, and I'm hoping Aubameyang's about to start getting loads of goals. So it's either or at the moment. And I don't really want to change it up just yet.
Should we move on and talk about one of the 3 o'clock games now, Brighton Fulham? Because I'm excited, because I've just got a bit of a man crush on Mitrovic at the moment. Like I loved his goal against Brighton. He just was it Dunk maybe?
Yep.
He barged. I mean, Dunk's like a big unit, isn't he?
He is.
And Mitrovic just batted him out of the way. Just instead of just thinking, okay, who am I going to pass it to? It's now I'm going to run straight towards a goal and just hit it hard. He obviously got the lucky rebound and came back, but just love that centre forward selfish bit of play, and that's what I think my fantasy team is missing. And do you know what's strange about it? Before the weekend, Palace had put up a compilation of all of Zaha's Premier League goals, and in the goal, like I watched the whole compilation, it was like 20 something goals, and none of them really looked like strikers' finishes. Like they all were a bit unusual, like bouncing in or deflecting into like the bottom corners of goals. There was nothing that made me feel like, Zaha's my main striker. So even before the weekend, I was thinking, if Mitrovic does something today and proves to me he can be like the striker who's going to get 15 plus goals a season, then I'd make that transfer. And watching that on Match of the Day, just Dunk sprawled out on the floor. I was just like, yes.
It makes Fulham look in really good nick going forward.
Yeah.
And against City after the international break, I can see them scoring, and I can see Mitrovic scoring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think annoying for me because I just can't see that double City defense getting that clean sheet. Just Fulham just seem on it. Yeah, I've looked at getting him in. I've looked at taking a -4 for him.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's worth it because I'd have to get a another 4.5 mid. Which I'd play 4-3-3, but then 2 4.5 mids. So yeah, not too keen on.
So is Kamara fully out of the team now? Because you've got Kamara third sub.
It seems like it. It seems like he's not getting any minutes at the moment. Yeah.
I suppose unless he gets called into action for you, a bit like Stecklenburg for me and you in goal, it's probably not really a problem, is it? Not you want to.
No, I won't be doing anything with Kamara. He'll stay there. But what I would do to get him would be Van Aanholt out to I think it was maybe a 5-0 possibly, and then it was Kamara out for Mitrovic.
Okay.
And then it was Walcott to a 4.5. So, yeah, that's assuming I have 2 free transfers, which I don't yet. Yeah.
So that's one to save and maybe make next week.
Yes.
Or the week after, if that makes sense.
But, he would have scored against City and it'll probably go up again and I might get priced out. But it's a bit frustrating. But I don't really think he's worth wildcarding for at the moment.
No.
Because their fixtures are still quite difficult. And, City could easily still keep a clean sheet. So
their underlying stats of City's defensive ones have been really good.
Yeah.
They're hardly allowing any shots on target. It's just happened. Perhaps they're switching off. And teams are having like 1 or 2 chances, and they ended up being really good chances. And they're scoring. I mean, we'll get onto City later. Company was dropped because he had a bit of a funny game, didn't he, against Wolves? I think Stones and Laporte came back in, but still, to concede a goal was a bit of a surprise there. But sorry, go back to Mitrovic and Fulham. The fact that he's already scored 4 goals this season, he's averaging 4.5 shots a game, which is only slightly less than Salah. That's pretty impressive. He's played away at Brighton, which is quite a difficult game. He's played away at Spurs. He's probably those numbers boosted up a little bit from that game against Burnley, but I don't know. He's impressing me.
Yeah, I knew he'd be good. I was championing him before the season. I really wanted to get him in my first team.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't do it, and he was biting me in the arse now. Which is a shame, but
you'd have to make a real drastic change, wouldn't you, to get rid of him? Sorry, to get him in.
Yeah, I think. Well, yeah, like I said, possibly a -4 with 2 to 3 transfers just to get him in. I still quite like my sort of top-heavy team, so don't know. We'll see.
So another interesting player from that game, another striker I keep on about there. Murray obviously scored 2 goals.
Yep.
And I think that's 3 goals for the season now after that one he scored against United. On penalties, maybe, because...
I'd say he probably is now.
Yeah, because Gross missed his in the first half.
Yeah.
So he's 6.5, trickling along. It's just such a great amount of decent striking options this season, and they're all ticking along quite nicely. So he's
6.5, but he's also like 35, isn't he? He's like, but he's still a thing. He's still getting goals, and he's after game week 8. Their fixtures are so good, and he seems to be starting. I don't see why he would get dropped out now.
I reckon they'll manage his minutes quite well this season, so I can't imagine he'll play many of the cup or any of the league or FA Cup games.
Yeah.
And he'll be rested from week to week, and he'll come in and play. And if he puts in performances like he has been doing,
I mean, he trolled me last year. Like I got him in after he got maybe 2 goals, and then he did nothing, and then I had to get rid of him when he dropped, and really frustrating. So he'll probably do that to me again if I get him this year.
Yeah.
So I think personally I'll probably stay away, but he seems like a good option.
Yeah. Well, the final player I wanted to pick out from that game was Schürrle. So although he's not completed 90 minutes yet, and his price has dropped to 5.9, I guess that's because he didn't start the first 2 games very well. He's got 2 goals in the last 2. He's averaging a high amount of shots per game. So again, 3.5 average shots per game is more than Mane by a whole shot per game more average. Again, that was probably helped by the amount he fired in against Burnley. But yeah, he's looking like a good player for Fulham. His heat map showed he was getting quite far forward. He ended up well, obviously very far forward for his goal. Nice little chip through ball from Seri, and good finish.
Yeah.
So I was quite impressed there.
I was going to mention Seri as well. That assist was absolutely beautiful. That was so nice. If you've not seen it, go watch that assist. It was crazy good. I'm interested in him as well. Like, he's quite cheap and he's got consistent returns so far, actually. How much is he? About 5-0?
He's 5'4". Right? He's 5'4".
5'4". Oh, that seems quite a lot for him. For a sort of like, I guess he's like a cater box-to-box guy.
Central midfielder, pretty much. I had a look again. I was having a look at his heat map because he did impress me. Like, goal and assist last two. Everyone's raving about him. He was apparently linked to Barcelona beforehand, and you can sort of see why. He's had some good play in the last couple of games, and I think he's played 90 minutes in 3 of the 4 games and played 80 some odd in the other one. So he's quite integral at the moment. But his heat map's basically centre circle. So he's getting forward a little bit, but who knows? He could keep getting forward and just making clinical plays. Yep.
And that Vieto guy as well, benched Sessegnon again and played most of the game. Yeah. Gave away the penalty, but he could still be good. He didn't get any turns, but if he's still playing, he's pretty attacking, part of the front three. So yeah, still an option, but one to keep your eye on, I think.
Is there anyone else you want to pick out from the Brighton Fulham game that caught your eye? Or
I don't think so. Just Gross, a bit disappointing.
Yeah, he was, wasn't he? Yeah, because I think it was our friend Pat. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I advised him to get him. Well, I advised Gross, didn't I, in general? But as a sort of Richarlison replacement, if you had the money. But yeah, it was good advice in general. You know, he was on penalties, but it wasn't even a bad penalty, was it? Like, you know, the keeper just made a really good save. It was in the corner. Just unlucky, I think. Maybe it won't be off penalties, to be fair, because it was a good penalty, just good save. But I don't know. We'll see.
Well, from one penalty taker to another, it was Hazard that made the difference, wasn't it, in the Chelsea-Bournemouth game?
Yep.
Well as our man, Alonso. Whew. Do you want to just have a bit of a love-in for a minute on just what Alonso means to you?
He's FPL essential, FPL god.
I think he is, isn't he?
Yeah, he's just so good, isn't he? Lucky to not get red, but other than that, he's like a second striker. He's up near Morata all the time, isn't he?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Well, he had 1 shot on target, I think, during the game, 2 off target. He hit the woodwork. I think he's now got 44 points from 4 games. So I can do the maths on that. That's an average of 11 points. Whoop.
Is he the highest point scorer so far?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So just incredible. I think I saw some interview with Hazard from after the game. He's been selling like Alonso. He needs to be behind him, but every time he looks up, he's in front of him. And it was a nice assist for Hazard.
Yeah, really, like, it was sort of like a no-look behind him pass. It was really, really nice. Unlucky not to get more as well, but nice to keep the clean sheet. Once, so that's
Well, good for all his new owners, because he went up in price so much, didn't he, during the week? And I think he's about 6'8" now, and I think he's due to rise again tonight. 6'9". So if I compare him to Bernardo Silva, and Alonso's just on it. Nearly 7 million. There's no comparison.
Yeah, shame there's not like another 6.0 mid, or no, not mid, defensive guy stepping up. Really, it's kind of like Holobas, and it's those 3: Robertson, Mendy, and Alonso. But there's not another sort of premium defender really doing well.
I'm going to make a case a bit later for Luke Shaw. So look forward
but
to that.
He's not premium. He's like mid range. So
he's not premium in price, Kieran, but in quality and potential. He's got that premium potential. Do you want to talk about Hazard and what you thought of his performance? He was a lot of people seemed to wildcard last week. I saw a lot of drafts on Twitter and Reddit and Fantasy Football Scout, and Hazard was one of the main beneficiaries of the week.
Yeah, he's scored not scored, but he's returned in every single game he's featured in so far, which for Hazard is rare, because he's pretty inconsistent usually. But if he's going to keep that up, then he might become essential as well. But he's kind of like a single game threat. You wouldn't really ever captain him. I don't think owners probably won't want to captain him because he has that history of being inconsistent. So yeah, maybe not essential, but close to, and he's going to keep rising as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did look good and integral to them. And obviously Pedro benched, but his owners got super lucky.
Well, yeah, because we had the big discussion, didn't we, last week about Walcott or Pedro as replacements for, and a range of other players. Mickey as well, we were talking about as replacements for, and he was benched too. So, I mean, we dodged that bullet to an extent, but yes, Pedro being benched and then coming on to score was a bit of a kicking the teeth, really. I still don't really fancy him as an option because I think if he's benched already this early in the season, and he goes without saying he's not first choice.
Yep.
So I'm sure most Pedro owners are looking at him saying, great, you got me that goal this week, but are you going to play next week?
I've seen a lot of people all transferring him in already again, which seems bizarre.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But yeah, that people are still doing it. You know, he's like a impact player, but that's not really what you want as an FPL asset. No. You want them to start so they have the minutes to get the goals.
I'm just going to come down on the other side of the fence on the Hazard thing because I've owned him in the past a lot. And he's often trolled me and not played very well. Or he's played well, but he's not giving me FPL points. And I think he had one shot in the box at the weekend, which was his goal. I was having a look at his heat map because when I've owned him and I've watched him, he's always just on the edge of the box. He's linking things, and unless he's playing these 1-2s around the corner and getting into the box, he's not often taking shots from distance. So at 10.5, I'd want a little bit more than one shot at home against Bournemouth. He had 5 key passes, so he's trying to set people up. But I think for 10.5, I'd want more goal threat. But like you say, he's been consistent, hasn't he? He's got 2 assists and 2 goals now?
Yep.
I think something like that. So
I think he just doesn't shoot enough. If he just took a few more shots, probably be getting way more goals.
Yeah. Well, part of Sarri's style at Napoli was playing a lot of 1-2s with pacey players, getting in behind. So that will suit Hazard's game. So I guess if he's getting higher up the pitch and he's playing 1-2s, it seems to work really well with Giroud. I always see that Giroud always seems to be in touch with them and laying each other off. Yeah. I think there's more of that happening. I think he's got the potential to continue, but if he'll worry me not owning him if he scores like 2 goals in a game. At the moment, I could just see him single goal or single assist per game is quite a big investment of 10.5 to get that, really.
Yeah, do we know what his ownership is at? I'm trying to have a look.
I would guess it's over 20. I know. But I think it'll go up over the international break because he's scored. But not for me at the moment. What did you make of Fraser? Because obviously you benched him.
Yeah, he looked good, didn't he? He was very close to assist. It looks like he's keeping his form, just didn't get the return. It's obviously a difficult game. Yeah, happy to be playing him in the next few, that's for sure. Bournemouth's fixtures are still good. Wilson still looks really lively as well. Yeah. King, not so much. But if you're going to go for a Bournemouth attacker now, you'd probably go Wilson because he seems to be possibly on penalties. Not sure. But I did like Fraser this week. He looks good. And shame I benched him. I don't. My general rule usually is to not bench attackers, and I should have gone with that. Really, I just went greedy this week. But never mind. Live and learn.
He's still good value at 5.6, and when I was checking into all the stats earlier, I saw he's still having 1.8 average shots per game, and he had one against Chelsea. So for 5.6, nailed on player in Bournemouth team. Seems good value. So keep hold. Palace 0-2 Southampton. Was my reaction to seeing Zaha not in the squad, because I heard about it at like 11. One of the Twitter groups we've got, someone posted it about like 11:25. You heard the rumours Zaha might be out, and I was just like, no. And then to see it come true, I was just like, oh gosh. So they have a terrible record when he doesn't play. So I think it's the last 10 games he hasn't played since the start of last season. They've lost, I think, which is awful. So 10 games without him in the side, lost every one.
Yeah.
So to see him not starting, I was like, well, I'm not feeling confident about PVA. and I'm sure you weren't feeling confident about Van Aanholt and Obi-Wan.
No. Yeah, shame for all the Zaha owners out there, because he's looked threatening in all the games.
Yeah.
And he just makes that Palace team, doesn't he? Yeah, it came out of nowhere. Just no rumours. Well, obviously there was a rumour, but on Friday night was it? Or
I think it was Saturday morning.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, so nobody had a chance to really get rid of him at that point. No. And he would have been probably silly to do that if just from an hour of a rumour or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've seen one thing on Twitter say that he's out for 4 weeks, possibly with a thigh strain or a groin strain, but that's not been reported everywhere. So take that as you will. He might be back after international. Who knows? Because he's not actually playing international. He's pulled out of that for personal reasons, whatever that means. So yeah, I'd probably keep him. I'm not really sure what you're going to do with him.
Well, I've had so many contrasting reports. So with the first one that came out said he was going to be out for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
I've read something today that they're hoping that he's going to be back within 2. I think he's due to have the scan today or tomorrow. So either the news of that will leak sometime this week.
So is it clear what his actual injury is?
I think it said it was an abductor, or something like strain, which is in your thigh.
Okay.
So apparently that was like right at the end of the day on Friday, at the end of their training session. And then he came in on the Saturday morning. They didn't want to risk him. And what I heard today from one of the reporters on a podcast was that they gave him the rest, essentially, to miss the Huddersfield game in the hope that he wouldn't aggravate it. We have 2 weeks to rest it and he'd be okay for after the international break. But it is a bit of a worry. And the way that the market's gone, everyone is so reactive this season. So I think he's potentially down to go down in price tonight.
Yep.
Which is massive.
He's risen already, hasn't he? So you probably won't lose him.
Yeah. He was 7-1.
Yeah.
They're still crazy. But people are like me, they're just excited. Mitrovic, just got to get him in. So, irritating. I think the only I'll give you a little bit of something for PVA. He had 1 shot on target, and his heat map showed he was like roughly the same position of Robertson, because I was comparing him. So he's on the halfway line, still getting forward, and they have great fixtures. That's what's so irritating.
I know, but that was a great fixture. Southampton, who are pretty poor in general at home. Palace, great fixture and great atmosphere usually at Palace.
Yeah.
If you're not keeping a clean sheet in that game, that's a bit worrying. I think it's the Tompkins effects as well for their defence. Him and Saka look so solid, and they always, they're not always, obviously they didn't against Liverpool, but they keep clean sheets when they're both playing. And without him, they're just not doing it. So I knew that risk with that double up. I was just like, Saints aren't going to do anything. Ings is possibly out because he had some big blister thing or something. Which seems like a poor excuse, but that everyone said that he may be out. He had an orange flag, I think. So I was just like, I'm going to risk it for the biscuit here. If I get double Palace defence, clean sheet. I was hoping for a Wan-Bissaka assist. Apparently Benteke missed a sitter from him for assist. That's just Benteke for you, isn't it? But
what biscuit would it have been?
Bourbon, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. Creamy bourbon.
Creamy bourbon.
But yeah, wasn't to be.
No. On the flip side of Zaha, one of the transfers I think a lot of people will be looking at was the player on the other side, Danny Ings. He's still only 5'6", so you put 1.4 saving. And if people are looking to upgrade a midfielder and they're eyeing up Mane and Hazard, I think, quite a popular transfer over the international break is looking at people downgrading Zaha to either Mitrovic or Ings and upgrading one of their midfielders to Mane or Hazard, taking a point here. I think he's had 3.5 average shots per game. He had 1 against Palace. He scored, didn't he? So
clinical finish as well.
Outside the foot, wasn't it?
Yeah, if he's going to get more shots, he'll get more goals. It worries me not having him for sure. It worries me not having Mitrovic as well, and Zaha and Arnie. I'm worried about all those guys. But I'm stuck in my ways of not wanting to get rid of Abba at the moment.
We'll get on to Arsenal in a bit, but I think there are so many good options, Kieran. I'm going to sway you, I think.
I know.
Okay, so Everton Huddersfield. We were saying before that it's difficult to be excited about either of these teams, but let's try. Walcott. That's, again, another reaction, but
Don't want to talk about it.
no. Well, I'll tell you the good things. 1 key pass and 1 shot blocked. So that's as good as I can give you. And then obviously less than his 60 minutes. We didn't even get the second appearance point. It was just disappointing. I had these 2 games lined up, Huddersfield and their next home game against West Ham lined up as games where Walcott would just pick up from where he'd left off against Brighton, really, and Southampton, but it just wasn't to be, really.
Yeah, just I wouldn't really say it was a wrong decision to go that way because Pedro got benched as well. Obviously ended up scoring, but just unlucky, I guess. If he didn't get injured, may have featured, may have got goals.
Yeah.
Who knows, really? What can you do? Just one of those unlucky things, really.
I think one thing... Oh, sorry.
Nah, carry on.
I was going to say, one thing we can say for certain about this game is don't invest in Everton defenders.
No.
Because I think it's now 16 consecutive games either for Watford or Everton that Marcus Silva hasn't kept a clean sheet, which is
crazy.
Pretty poor, yeah. So I would stay well away. I mean, Coleman was really popular, wasn't it, at the start of the season, but I can't imagine... I've not seen any teams for ages with an Everton defender in it. So,
well, both of their other centre-backs are out. Only Holgate and Zuma are fit, and, they're not exactly great. I'm wondering when Mina will come in. I don't think he's played any minutes even for the reserves or anything yet. So, and even Bernard apparently won't play after the international fixture. So, yeah, not sure.
More people to come back. Huddersfield, your man Billing again. Well, again on the bench, but he's not really going to come in, is he? A bit lucky with the header.
No. Good header, but he is a threat for set pieces. He is pretty tall and stuff like that. He is one of the better options of 4.5. He's one of the most attacking 4.5s. The rest of them are always just sort of like proper sit back midfielders, like Stevens and whatnot. But he's the most sort of attacking, I believe. Apart from maybe Højbjerg. Didn't he get a goal? Did he get the second Southampton goal? He did, didn't he?
I think he might have done, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he's not really an attacker either, to be honest. He doesn't really get forward too much either. So, but yeah, if you want to go get Billing, give me a cheeky price rise. Go for it.
Yeah. Swaying the market live.
Yeah.
All right. So, moving on from Everton Huddersfield, West Ham Wolves, 1-0 to the Wanderers. I had a lot riding on this game because I had 3 players playing, so I had a chance to watch the first half, and it was awful. One of the worst halves of football I've seen in quite a while. Obviously, the late goal from Wolves cancelled out my Fabianski clean sheet, and I'm starting to doubt him a little bit already. He's still got last season he had the best saves per minute ratio in the Premier League, and this season he's still got the best at the moment. I think he's making a save every 17 minutes or something like that.
Yep.
So from that point of view, he's still racking up the save points, which is great. But because they're getting battered by teams and conceding multiple goals, they haven't had the clean sheet points yet, and they're sort of losing points, if you like, for every 2 goals. So that's not good. And when there's lots of other keepers at 4.5 that are doing quite well at the moment, Hennessy and McCarthy of Southampton. Also, Patricio in the Wolves goal. Wolves aren't conceding many chances, though, so his save rate is quite low.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say Patricio is probably better than Kepa, Arith the Balaga. And, he was free and Kepa was 70 million. So, yeah, he's definitely a good choice. People that kept or bought in Patricio as a set and forget 4.5 from the start, have finally been rewarded, which is good for them. With a bonus point as well.
Do you not think his points really depend on Wolves actually keeping clean sheets rather than him getting lots of save points? Because I think he's only got one save against West Ham, or.
Oh yeah, probably. But I think Wolves are actually quite strong at the back. personally. I think they've just had tough fixtures. I can see them keeping clean sheets in the easier games for sure. And I think West Ham will as well. I put out something on Twitter. It's just like, oh, West Ham really just that bad, or is it just their fixtures? And I would say it's probably their fixtures. I don't think Pellegrini's a bad manager. I don't think West Ham are bad. Their defense is pretty poor, sure, but they've just had poor fixtures, and I think they will start to pick up points once they, turn. And I don't think Fabianski is bad. I'm not sure you want to waste a transfer on him, really.
No.
He's getting all those saves, and as soon as he gets a clean sheet, probably with those saves as well, quits in. Probably a 9-pointer, 8-pointer from him.
Yeah.
I guess you just got to be patient for that.
I think that's the thing. Their fixtures turn around game week 8. So if I can get through these next 4 game weeks with some decent save points and not have to make a rush transfer, then I'll do that. I think picking up on the Wolves defence, I'm quite interested in, is it Bolly, how you pronounce that?
Yeah,
because I think so. He scored that brilliant handball goal against City, but he's been getting great sort of baseline bonus points, and he looks like I think he's still only 4-5. I think if you don't want to take obviously Bennett's down at 4 and a good enabler, but if you're looking just for a little bit more from Wolves, I think Bolly could be a really good option instead of Patricio, because he gives you that added goal threat, doesn't he, as well? And if his passing stats are up, and if he's the type of player whose style is suited to the bonus point system, then I think you'd expect to get bonus points every time they keep a clean sheet.
And if you want win-backs as well, like Doherty and Johnny seem to be nailed on as well. Although I'm not sure if Johnny played that last game.
I think he did.
You think he did? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't actually manage to watch this or on Match of the Day, so mostly down to you to give analysis on this one. But
Jota, I was trying to watch closely to see if he is actually ever going to be worth keeping, and he didn't do too badly in the first half. I feel like Jimenez is messing up a lot of potential. Like he had the potential to give, for Jimenez to at least hit the target with a shot, which would have been a Jota assist, and Jota had a header from about 6 yards, which went over. So I mean, he's not playing atrociously, but he's dropping in value like crazy. I've still got
6-3 now, right?
Yeah, he's 6-3. I've had no real. I don't really want to take a hit to get rid of him because that's stupid. You're throwing points away. So if he's still, look, he tripled Walcott's score this week, so may as well keep him for a bit longer.
Yeah, it depends if you want a wild card, I guess. It's just something I suppose you'll think about over the international break, won't you?
Yeah, well, Arnautovic is another problem there.
Yeah,
because he's been playing fairly well. He's scored a couple goals, hasn't he? But he had one big chance at home this weekend, which he obviously didn't take. And like I say, West Ham's fixtures don't get really good until game week 8. So I'm thinking, well, should I swap Mitrovic or Ings in until then, who've got better fixtures on paper, and then maybe get Arnie in? Yeah. I
think we have said he's fixture proof, and he has seemed to have been fixture proof because he has still got goals against Arsenal and things.
Yeah.
So I don't see why he can't. But who's a better player, Mitrovic? Arnautovic, who's the better side?
Yeah.
In general, not sure.
At the moment, Fulham.
Yeah.
Are showing good form, but I think when West Ham click, they'll start to play some good stuff. But I think it's that their midfield seems like a bit of a problem to me. It just seems so slow. When I was watching the game and just getting irritated about how badly they were playing, they had Sanchez in the middle and Jack Wilshere, and they just I think Mark Noble was playing as well. And it's those three as a midfield three. There was just like no creativity. It was just all a bit too slow. So, yeah.
Yeah, Wilshere's not great since going there, has he?
No.
Not done much. Yeah.
I want to see more. I'm hopeful because I think West Ham have got some decent priced assets in Fabianski and Arnautovic, and even to an extent Felipe Anderson at 7.
Yep.
But when you compare obviously his 7 to Alonso, dearie me.
Yeah, good point.
So the evening game on Saturday, Man City Newcastle. What do you make of that one?
City still not quite up to speed, I'd say. Yeah, they seem to be not struggling, but just not quite there yet. Kind of bailed out by that really nice Walker goal. I imagine they probably would have gone and still got another goal, but yeah, good finish from Walker. Hasn't scored in like years. I think that's his first goal for City. Sterling was a really clinical, nice finish. And I would like him in my team, but he's rotation risk, isn't he? And 11 million, you don't want that on the bench 1 week. But Aguero, another day, could have got 2 again. Just consistent, well, sort of blank. Obviously, he got an assist, but consistently not getting goals, which is annoying. But yeah, the captain worked out better than Salah did, so happy with that.
Yeah, well, I think it was an interesting game, and one of the key points which you picked up a little bit on Sterling was his finish was really nice. But he actually played out on the left of midfield, and all of last season he was playing on the right, usually coming in at the far post and sticking him away. So it was it made a bit of a difference to see him starting out on the left and cutting inside. Obviously, that's where he got his goal from, didn't he? Cutting from the left, curled it into that far corner.
Yeah.
So with all these options, it's fascinating to see how Pep just juggles the team around. Mahrez obviously likes to play from the right, so that's where Sterling was playing last season, and now Sane, who didn't even get in. I don't know if he was even in the squad. Was he at the weekend?
No, he wasn't.
Yeah, and Mendy just seems to have crushed him. Like, I've been talking about the heat maps before, but Mendy's heat map, it's like Inferno down the left wing. It was just so bright, into like maybe 2/3 inside what would have been the Newcastle half. It was just Mendy. So I think he's made that left wing spot either left back, left midfield, or inside left forward. Mendy's doing it all. It's really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I hope City can get those clean sheets soon, because having 2 of them and not getting clean sheets since I've had 2 of them, it's been super annoying. That's quite a lot of money in there.
Is that your 3rd week with them now?
I think I got them in the 2nd week. So the game week 3 I had 2.
Okay, and you haven't got them.
So I've had them for 2 weeks, and no clean sheets yet. But obviously Mendy has returned. So
yeah, well, I think of all the defenders, I think you've got the right 2.
Yeah. Possibly Laporte as well. He's definitely an option.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Like we were saying earlier, though, they seem to be conceding from single chances, don't they? Newcastle on the break, it just simple ball across, someone not tracking their runner, and that's all it took. So maybe that's just moment switching off. It's a bit difficult. Have you got any sympathies for people who put the triple captaincy on Aguero? I was talking it up last week, and I'm pleased they didn't, obviously.
I mean, yeah, I was starting to think about it as well. But I did say it might be a trap. He hasn't been consistent with scoring yet. He's got that hat trick and then nothing else. So I felt like it was just a bit too early to do it. And yeah, it's a great fixture, but he's got great ones coming up as well, Cardiff and Fulham, stuff like that. So we got more information now. But yeah, feel for them that did do it, but it was with good intentions. So it just goes that way sometimes. I think both of us put triple caption on Kane last year and got in game week 9, I think it was, and got like grand total of 9 points or something. So it happens. Just move on.
Yeah, a difficult one to take it. He had 2 shots off target. I think Jesus started as well, didn't he? And he had 2 shots on, but it's unlike Aguero to go through a home game and not have any shots on target. So I think, and even the percentage chance you'd expect to get an assist like that must be fairly low, like a pass to Walker who just belts it in from like 30 yards. Yeah,
so he was lucky, really.
I think so. So I think it could have gone a lot worse, and my score would have been even worse than it was.
What do you think about Yedlin? He's had an assist against Chelsea, and then a goal against City. So possibly one to look at come their better fixtures.
I think so. Well,
seems to be nailed on. So.
Yeah, we know Rafa likes to block in and play a low block sort of defensive line especially against the big teams. So it's not like they've been battered score wise. Obviously, losing 2-1 against City and Chelsea's pretty decent. If you said that to a Newcastle fan before the game, they'd probably been fairly happy they weren't getting beaten 4 or 5.
Yep.
But yeah, Yedlin looks good. He looks all right, and like you say, they've got some good fixtures coming up. He's fairly inexpensive, isn't he? I think he's 4 or 5.
Yes.
So yeah, he could be one to watch. it was unusual to see him that far forward, bursting into the box to score. But yeah,
I mean he's a good crosser as well, so that's how he got his assist the other week. So he's really fast as well, rapid. So
yeah, it's good he's nailed down his place. I think he was a bit in and out of the team last season. I think he was 4-0 last season. He was definitely one I was looking at, but I don't think he was nailed on.
4-0. Didn't get that though.
Wasn't he? Oh, okay.
No.
Must be thinking of someone else. Oh, maybe Mbemba.
Mbemba,
Yeah. Okay, my bad. Sorry, Mbemba. So should we move on to Sunday's games?
Yeah.
And then we'll start with Cardiff Arsenal. Because that was the 1:30 game, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And your main man and Aubameyang played.
Thank God. He finally came through. Just had to wait 4 game weeks for that. For 11 million. Not ideal. But I would have liked the max bonus, but Lacazette looked way better and got the max bonus. So Lacazette, I would say, is going to start from now on. You'd think, because they seem to score way more goals when he's starting, and Lacazette has looked way more impactful than Aubameyang has.
Yeah.
And shame for Mkhitaryan owners, because if Lacazette's going to start, Mkhitaryan is probably going to be the one that's benched. But you couldn't have really predicted that, so you may just have to get rid quickly, annoyingly. But Lacazette at 9.5, maybe 9.4 now. I think he dropped. Looks like a good option if he can nail down his spot, obviously. But yeah, Aubameyang, happy. I'm gonna keep him from now on.
Well, what we've been saying with Emery, it's been interesting to work out his formation, isn't it, and how he's going to play all his players, because essentially he's got what I would consider Ozil and Mkhitaryan as quite similar players to link that forward play. And I don't think he can play both of those and both of Aubameyang and Lacazette. No. And also he seems to quite like Ramsey, Xhaka, and
Guendouzi.
Yes, this guy, Guendouzi. So I think one of that lot is always going to be benched. At the moment, it's been a bit of a roulette because I think it was Ramsey, and then it was Lacazette, and now it was Mkhitaryan. So, I mean, you've been lucky that Aubameyang's played every game from that point of view, but I think he's the better striker all round. But Lacazette's showing such great form at the moment, and when he plays,
I don't think he would bench Aubameyang. You know, he can just pop up and get a goal from anywhere, and that's great because he didn't do much in that game, to be honest.
No.
But he's Aubameyang. He's a great player. He's got pedigree. But yeah, even Bellerin was of average position, like higher than Aubameyang was on the field.
Really?
Yeah. Aubameyang was kind of like just above the halfway line as his average position, which isn't great.
So does that not worry you?
Yeah, well, it definitely does. But I'm hoping he's just going to push on now because he's broke that Kane-itis August cursed. He got passed on to him. Now that he's in September, I think it was September the 1st. Second yesterday. Yeah. So he's in September. He scored. Now he's going to push on. Hat-trick against who is it next? I'm not actually sure.
A home game against someone, and I don't know.
Hold on, I can look very quickly.
I'll fill in with some background music. No, I'll talk about
Newcastle. There you go.
Oh well,
away at Newcastle actually.
There'll probably be a 2-1 win for Arsenal because Newcastle are quite consistent with that score at the moment.
Yeah, true. And both from Aubameyang. Let's hope so.
Well, I don't know. If I were you, I'd be really worried by now because I'd see all the other players who are, see Mitrovic scoring quite consistently, and I'd be thinking, I can downgrade Aubameyang, get Mitrovic, and get a premium midfielder. But
but it's Sod's law.
Ideas in your head.
Sod's law. I'll get rid of him and he'll score. Yeah. And he, obviously, I've kept the faith. He's scored, so I'm hoping he's going to carry on. And he's become a differential now. He's only 14% owned.
Is he really? Okay.
Yeah. So, that 8 points massively helped me this week, and helped me get a green arrow, I believe. So, if you can do it again, and he's still got favourable fixtures, great. He has the pedigree to get 3 or 4 in a game. Yeah. Why not? Where it's like a Mitrovic and Ings and Zaha probably don't.
Laka's in 2.6%, or was in 2.6% of teams when I checked.
Yeah, big green
yesterday. So I think he's going to shoot up a bit over
Yeah.
international break. I think he could be.
I can see that.
If Emery thinks right, we look quite threatening, which I think they did, and their interplay was okay. It was nice for the goal. There wasn't a lot of it bar that, but I think
I think he's probably getting close to his final preferred 11 now that he's seen that game. I'd say they look good going forward. So
yeah.
But Cardiff wise, as I said last week, their clean sheets against the top teams will dry up, and their fixtures are pretty awful coming up. So definitely don't get any of their defenders. But Ward, 4.5 out of position, central striker now. He's actually a mid on the game. Once their fixtures get better, if he's continuing to start, great option. Why not? If you're on wildcard, get him in.
I'm a bit worried about his minutes because he hasn't actually done a full 90 yet.
No, but if he's scored, so if he can keep up his performance, then he won't get dropped. I think one of their other sort of false 9 strikers is injured, Mendes Lang, I think. So Zaha hasn't looked great. Bobby Reed's looked okay, but if Wall can continue, great.
It was a good header as well, wasn't it? It was quite a long
It was, really good.
Yeah. Beat Peter Cech, all ends up.
Oh yeah, Cech, one to talk about. Awful, woeful.
Yeah. Just
Arsenal's defence in general, terrible. I mean, I was looking at Monreal as a possible Van Aanholt switch.
Yeah.
But no, staying away. If they concede 2 against a team who hadn't scored at all yet, that's worrying.
They've conceded a lot of goals so far this season, haven't they?
Mm-hmm,
I think the 3 against Chelsea, the 2 against Cardiff, 1 against West Ham.
Yeah, no clean sheets in 4 games.
I wouldn't invest. I mean, we were talking up Bellerin and Monreal as goal scorers last week, but I think if they're going to, until they even look a little bit more secure, I can't imagine trading any of my premiums.
No.
Or, anyone else, really. Even Zaha, even PVA.
But if they do get it and you've been brave enough, you're just good point gain, probably differential.
Yeah, definitely differential.
Yeah.
Should we move on to the classic at Turf Moor, the battle between Burnley and Manchester United? Yeah,
you watched this game.
I did indeed. Yeah, enjoyed it a lot. It was good. It was seeing United back to, I was going to say more attacking, but I'd say more energetic and positive side would be a better description. So they didn't sit back. They really took it to. I mean, Burnley looked tired from the Europa League, and I think some of the players came out and said we were retired from our games, which I can understand because they're probably not used to playing Thursday, Sunday, and it's a small squad. But United took advantage of that. They started really quick, had lots of good chances. Lingard, Sanchez, and Lukaku were linking up really well. Fellaini made such a huge difference before to the midfield. I tweeted out before the game I was pleased to see him start instead of Fred. I haven't actually heard if Fred's injured or not, but Fellaini in the centre midfield just set the tone for United. He was winning everything, playing some nice balls forward to Lingard. Valencia was getting well forward, and United did well. Lukaku scored a couple of nice goals. Could have had a lot more, but he's sort of sneaking a little bit under the radar. Obviously, he's still very expensive. I think he's still 11, isn't he? Because he's not gone up or down. I imagine he's in quite a lot of auto-select teams rather than people who are playing the game. But he's been averaging 3.3 shots a game. He's now scored 3 in his last 3, and if he'd scored that open goal against Spurs, I think a lot more people will be interested in him because United have still got some great fixtures, quite a lot of home games, and I think Lukaku's got the potential to kick on quite a bit, really.
I've definitely looked at him now as a possible Aubameyang change, but that would be obviously a proper side grade. But he looks great. If he can continue his form. He just goes under the radar all the time, doesn't he? Like, he's still got 20 odd goals last season.
Yeah.
But he's just not consistent. That's the problem. And just United aren't attacking generally.
He also very rarely scores braces on more than 1 goal or 1 assist a game, which for 11 million striker, you'd want that explosive side. You get that of Aguero, but I think it was maybe 2 games last season, maybe 2 in the league, maybe 1 in the cup where Lukaku scored a brace. Obviously, he did it at the weekend, but
well, I mean, he's more consistent with Aguero than Aguero is now. Aguero's got a hat trick and 1 assist, and but that's only in 1 game, and assist obviously last game. But
true.
So yeah, the one to keep your eye on, I suppose. If he gets like a goal in the next game, then you'd probably say he's in form, and big differential because I think he's only in like 7% of teams, like something really low. So yeah, if you go for him, you're brave enough.
I think the most important thing of what you'd look for in a Jose Mourinho team is you'd want to see them continuing to play exciting, energetic football, because we all know that Jose can play games where he'll set out to stop the opposition playing and maybe nick a goal and win a tight 1-0 or a 2-0 or 2-1. Do you know what I mean? It's very rarely he'll let as he said last season, let the horses run free and score lots of goals. So until I see evidence of that happening, I just can't see myself getting Lukaku.
I'm certainly looking at Lingard as one. I didn't really want to say that on here because I think he's gonna bang. I think he's gonna get a goal soon because he had a good few chances, didn't he, in that game? He fluffed his lines a bit, but we know he can get scores and braces, and if he does get a return, he'll get bonus, and he's a possible Walcott change for me, and he's got favourable fixtures.
He does have, and
he's got low ownership. I'm tempted because that was one of my good parts of my season last year was getting in Lingard before everyone else did, and he got me that brace off the bench, which was obviously kind of lucky, and he got me goals in other games. So I got a good feeling about him coming up soon.
2 shots yesterday. Sanchez 1, but he created 4 chances. So I think there's scope for Lingard. He did look exciting.
I think he looks essential to United as well.
He does
for the way we play. I don't think he's going to get benched.
No, I agree. I think he's probably Jose's first choice 11 now.
Absolutely.
It's just that energy he brings.
Yep.
It's just if he can be a little bit more consistent and a little bit better decision making in front of goal, I think he's got the potential there to score. Maybe. I think he got 10 or 12 goals last season. So if he could match that again, it'd be fantastic.
Yep.
But the main point of interest that I obviously wanted to talk about was Luke Shaw.
Yep.
Left back, but bombing on. He had 3 shots yesterday, 2 on target, 1 blocked. So that's better stats yesterday in just on a game by game comparison than Marcus Alonso. He's less than 10% selected, and 5-1 route into United defence. Jose's been not singing his praises, but he's been encouraging him, and I think that left back spot's his own now.
Did you happen to look at a comparison between him and Van Aanholt at all?
No, I haven't. No.
That's something I'm going to need to look into because I'm tempted to get rid of Van Aanholt for sure. For sure. Obviously, Van Aanholt's games are still good, but I've got Wan-Bissaka there if I want to play him.
Yeah.
Play as Palace defender, but I'm definitely looking at Sean because he seems to be nailed on now because Young is back and he's probably fit, ready to play, and Shaw's looking perfect, and Jose's talking him up. Liking it.
United have got a couple of decent fixtures coming up. And
They do.
We're going to get into we're going to do another separate video next week for our Game Week 5 preview, but my transfer I've sort of played around with a bit already is Van Aanholt to Shaw.
Yep.
Despite them having a decent-ish game against Huddersfield, I've got Wan-Bissaka there if I need to, but Van Aanholt to Shaw, getting that United cover while he's still less than 10% owned. I think because De Gea is so heavily owned, anytime United get a clean sheet at the moment, you're automatically dropping down the rankings.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised I didn't get a red arrow when the United clean sheet came in. I was very surprised.
Yeah. All right, should we move on to the final game of the weekend?
Yep.
Watford Spurs, the Elton John excitement game, I guess. Did you see him in the crowd?
Didn't script that one.
No, I didn't script that one. I've got loads of Elton John puns ready to go, but maybe another game. What did you think?
Yeah, 2 unbeaten teams at that point. Watford coming out on top, 4-0, aren't they now? Which is I definitely didn't see that coming. I was I think I put together a table and I had them like 16th, 17th, something like that. I just never really fancy them, but they've looked good this year.
Yeah.
And Deeney, do you know Troy Deeney? Looking like a cheaper Mitrovic right now. But maybe even better. Like he's got like 20-something 6 points or 23 points from 4 games for Deeney. That's quality points.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, he's only had 2 blanks and then returning the other 2, and great. He's played all 90 minutes pretty much, and they're in form. So yeah, I like him at the moment. What do you think?
Well, yeah, he loves a big game. Does Deeney? He played well against Arsenal last season, and he played well against Chelsea. And when he's had a good game against a big team, he loves talking about it afterwards. So he came out and said, "Oh, Tottenham were the same as Arsenal last season. They didn't want it as much as us." And I think that's fair to an extent. I think after Spurs went behind, I think Watford looked really good, and Deeney was a driving force behind that. He got the crowd whipped up, but not just through that. He played well and made a difference. Scored a good header. So I think fair play to him. I don't think I'd ever have him in my side because I'd always be worried about the sending off all the yellow cards.
Yeah, sure.
But he's a player. It makes it definitely is a big player for Watford.
I mean, it's a talisman theory. If you want to go with talismans, then he's certainly that. Maybe if you want to swallow a few yellows, then
maybe he's worth getting.
I mean, they've only got 2 bad fixtures. Like they've got United next week, and then they've got another green, and then another bad one. I think it's possibly City, and then they got a run of greens, for a while. So
he would be a differential. I imagine his ownership's quite low.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he had 2 shots on target yesterday, so the score one's pretty decent.
Yep.
Holobas seems to be their main man, though, doesn't he?
Yeah. It's just consistent, isn't he? Somehow, he loves yellows, but he's getting them points. He's rising all the time as well. He's 4-7, probably going to go up to 4-8. I think it was tonight. I probably won't bother getting him because he's not going to continue doing that, I don't think. But he's on free kicks, and for a defender, that's great.
4 assists, 1 goal, I think, so far this season for 4-7. It's really good return.
Yeah. Do you tempted by him at all?
I don't really have space for him in the team at the moment. I think I'd rather have Shaw if I was going to trade it up, or I'd probably still have Bowley as well ahead of him.
Okay.
But, he is interesting. Depends. If I was going to play 5 at the back, then maybe. But 5-3-2 could be an option. Yeah,
it's just hard to get all them clean sheets, but
yeah.
What
did you make of Spurs' performance?
Well, I wanted to mention Deeney absolutely bullied Sanchez. Just quickly, like Sanchez got absolutely wrecked by Deeney in that game. Kane still looking a bit off the pace. I think I mentioned the other day he looked like he was almost back to his best, but not so in this game. Wasted an opportunity at the end to get 2-2. Probably an easier header than his goal against United. So, not sure about him. He's an option later in the season. I think if I was going to wildcard, which I don't think I will for a while, he'd be one I'd want to get in on the wildcard, but he needs to show the form before I do that.
Yeah.
I don't think he's had a brace yet, has he? It's just been single goals. Yeah, he needs to start getting a bit more consistent.
Yeah, he's played every game, hasn't he, so far this season? 4 games and 2 goals, I think, returned. So it's an average start for him. Sure. It's not bad, but when he's the most expensive forward in the game, you'd sort of be expecting a little bit more than that.
Yeah, hard to have him and Salah. So
I think that the £11 million strikers are proving to be probably a bit better. Well, I say the 11 million. Aguero is proving to be slightly better value, as is Lukaku. Aubameyang just needs to do a little bit more.
Yeah.
To get ahead of him. I was having a good look at Moura because obviously he's been heavily invested in after his 2 goals at United. He followed that up with an assist. I mean, it's one of the jammiest assists that I've seen given because
bizarre.
He knocked it back towards the penalty spot it was going back. Decore just knocked it off his leg and it trickled in at the near post. I mean, how that's an assist in FPL rules? And Mendy's wasn't an assist.
Well, he kicked it and
Anyway, he played okay, and his heat map showed he was the furthest average. Well, his average position was the furthest forward of all the Spurs players. So he was getting in behind and he was working the channel, and I think he had one shot all game off target. I think it was in the first half. So to pick up the assist, that shows he's probably the most consistent of all the Spurs attackers at the moment, and he's the cheapest. So I can see why he's a popular option.
I thought Ali looks good. I don't know if you kept an eye on Ali.
No,
he looked good, really lively actually. Like really, sometimes further than up the field the game was.
Okay.
Mora was very far upfield as well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I like the look of Ali. He looks like he's going to get some goals soon. Possible different option to Mane if you want to go that way.
Yeah, I suppose Mora would be in more of the bracket of a Walcott replacement, wouldn't he?
Yeah, Mkhitaryan replacement.
Yeah, whereas Ali would be up there.
Yeah.
Is there any more you want to touch on from Spurs?
Not really, no.
Not really? Oh, sorry, Spurs fans. That's all we've got time for.
Yeah.
I think that wraps up all the games and tonight's show. So thanks to everyone for joining us. Like we said, we're going to be back early next week, Monday or Tuesday, and we're going to do our Game Week 5 preview show. Probably more likely Monday, because I think England play on Tuesday, don't they? I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. So if you've got a topic you want to hear discussed that we've not touched on and you want to ask us, put a comment on the video below or tweet us. Our link is in the video description. And if you haven't already, if it's the first time watching FPL Cougars, whoa, hi, welcome, great to have you. We would really appreciate you liking the video. The button's just down there, and subscribe as well, just to make sure you don't miss an episode. We do these every week, and Kieran's got it every week. So yeah, it'd be great for you to join us. So until next week, enjoy your weeks, international break, get outside the house, see some things, and do some stuff. That's what they all say. So it's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. See you and good luck.
Bye.